This report is very critical of the system of asylum seeker accommodation. What struck you most from what you found?
The report that was published today lays bare the extent of the catastrophe that the Tories left the incoming Labour government. It failed on almost every possible measure. It has tripled in cost to the taxpayer, from 5 billion to about 15 billion over a 10-year period. It has created community tensions, and it has left asylum seekers in really quite dire accommodation.
And what needs to happen now? Should these contracts with private companies simply be abandoned?
One of the key recommendations included in the report is the break clause, which is up for renewal in 2026, so next year. The Home Affairs Select Committee is advising that the Home Office uses this as an opportunity to ensure that the contracts are more cost effective and that they deliver better services, not just for the asylum seekers but for communities on the whole.
Is that pledge to close all asylum seeker hotels realistic? What's the alternative?
There are a number of alternatives. Dispersal accommodation into the community is actually cheaper, but I met with the Home Secretary last week and they are looking in more detail at the large-scale sites, whether that's military barracks or other forms of accommodation.
Now, the numbers in asylum seeker hotels are falling, but this government's been in power now for a year and a half. Is enough being done? Is this happening quickly enough?
The government has closed a number of asylum hotels. We're now processing asylum applications far quicker. Remember that they actually paused under the last government, which meant there were hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers stuck in asylum hotels in our community. So we've got that process going again, and we've already saved £1 billion.
There's criticism in the report of the lack of coordination between the Home Office, private companies and local authorities that host asylum seekers. Glasgow has the highest asylum seeker population in the UK. It says it needs more support from the UK government. Shouldn't it get that?
So the report is clear that in Scotland we're hit by a double whammy. Firstly, the failures of the last Tory government, but those failures have been exacerbated by the SNP government. COSLA, that's the organisation that represents the councils across Scotland, and the councils themselves have said that there's been a lack of information and planning coming from the Scottish Government, and that they haven't been seen as partners but rather been told what to do with very little notice and planning. So I think it's really important that the Scottish Government does its bit in trying to improve the asylum accommodation and the asylum process.